State health leaders say Indiana just saw its largest one-day total of COVID cases since the start of the pandemic. We're still waiting for today's numbers, but yesterday they reported 12,937 cases. That is a lot more than the second highest day of the pandemic, which was just a week ago. And with fast-spreading Omicron variant, we're seeing an increasing number of kids in the hospital as well. But some kids have a new line of defense against COVID-19. Late Wednesday, the CDC approved booster shots for 12 to 15-year-olds. Now those kids can go get their third dose as early as 5 months after their last shot. This now makes 5 million children in the U.S. eligible to receive the booster shot immediately. Hospitals are seeing more children hospitalized from COVID-19. Our Lauren Kostick meets a young man who is finally heading home after spending months laying in a hospital bed.
It's a day 16-year-old Wesley Fox and his family have waited months for. A final farewell after a long and difficult battle with COVID-19.
It's surreal that I'm actually leaving now after 6 months of being here.
Wes caught COVID along with his mom back in July, both of them unvaccinated.
I remember not being able to eat anything because everything had like a very stale taste to it.
Not long after, Wes was in the ER struggling to breathe.
I had several calls with different doctors in that time of, your son's probably not going to make it. This is our options and we don't know if they'll work.
For 8 days, Wes was on ECMO and spent 160 days on a ventilator, being cared for at Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital.
And we sat there at the edge of his bed and, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to figure this out? What are we going to do? It was something I wouldn't wish on anybody, to have to try to figure out what to do in those situations.
In October, Wes started showing signs of recovery.
My parents walked in and I was like, "Happy birthday to you."
Happy birthday, dear. It was the first time they heard him talk through his speaking valve.
My mom cried a little bit, but that's fine.
Even though the severity of Wes's case is rare, doctors say it's not uncommon for children to be hospitalized with COVID, recently seeing a huge uptick.
Generally, the vast amount of children will do very well with this, but there are kids who are getting really sick, previously healthy children getting really sick, and that's what's really concerning to us.
And like so many, Wes didn't think his case would be severe either.
I thought I was healthy enough that even if I did catch COVID, it would just be like a cold and then I would bounce back from it, but here we are, 6 months later.
Grateful to be alive, reminding people to take this virus seriously.
At the end of the day, you still should have other people in mind. It's selfish just to think about you and only you.
Wes will enter rehab until he gets stronger, hoping one day to return the favor by becoming a registered nurse, just like the ones who cared for him.
Wow, so happy to hear he's doing better. The Indianapolis Children's Museum is hosting a vaccination clinic this afternoon. You can get your child as well as yourself vaccinated against COVID. They'll also have boosters and flu shots from 4 to 8 p.m. Shots are free, and if you want to check out the museum afterwards, they'll have a discounted price of just $6.